Story selling increases longevity and profit, thus helping you scale. So let me share with you what it is. If you're new here, my name is Kevin, and I'm an e-commerce email marketer. Welcome to my channel where I share insights on how to scale your online business through email marketing, just like this super profitable tip that I'm about to share with you. I've used story selling to generate hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales via email, and it's such a powerful way to write emails that enhances the relationship with your readers/customers, which increases longevity and as a byproduct generates more sales, helping you to experience more profit and scale even further. So let's dive into it. What is story selling and why should you do it? It's pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory, but it's the idea of selling your product or offer while telling a story. Simple enough, right? The reason why we tell stories is because it engages the reader at a deeper level, and if done correctly, makes them look forward to future emails. When we captivate the reader's attention, we can rest assured that they will also be exposed to our offer or product that we're trying to sell because we'll weave it in effectively and or have a soft sell CTA at some point. Okay? Another benefit is that we can increase our frequency of emails even further without burning the list. In fact, your list will be happy to receive more emails because it's valuable to them, whether that be from an educational perspective or an entertainment perspective or both. They're also fun to write and fun to read, and easier to develop than those pesky glorified billboards that people call visually pleasing emails. On top of that, they're a lot more memorable. People remember stories, and if you can tell a good story involving your product that is memorable, it can live in their head rent free and they'll consistently, subtly sell themselves. Okay, that's how powerful story selling is that it'll live rent free in their mind. And the more they think about it, the more they're selling themselves. And I can go on and on, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to leave it at that. And I want to talk about how to story sell. Okay. It's actually quite simple. And if you're not a writer, I guarantee you'll quickly pick this up because as human beings, we're always telling stories, whether that be to ourselves, to friends, neighbors, or we're observing them or hearing them. Stories are all around us. They're a part of our daily lives. And the way you go about it, is that you simply start with a story, then you tie in your product, and then have a clear CTA, clear call to action. It's quite literally that simple. Of course, we can spruce it up, but that is the general structure of it. And I recommend that when you're story selling, you tell real stories that you live through directly or indirectly, or tell stories you've observed or heard from others. Real stories are what you want to write, not fake ones. Okay? You can interweave some frameworks such as PAS, the hero's journey, etc. These are very basic ways of implementation, but it's a great place to start. Okay, there really are no rules, but some targets you want to aim for, just like anything else. Hook the reader, retain their attention, then tie in your product effectively and have a clear call to action. I'll share a plug and play structure you can leverage as a beginner at the end of this video, but for now, let's go over some examples of story selling. Okay, I want you to see it in action. So I pulled this example from Sam Parr, founder of The Hustle, so credit to him. And I believe he founded this and he's exited. I'm pretty sure he's exited the company, but he's done a great job in this welcome email. And I'm going to read it out first, and then I'll point out, a couple of things that he's doing pretty well. So, a letter from the leader of a circus, aka The Hustle. I assure you, we don't take what just happened lightly. You just gave us your email and joined our newsletter. It's a very big deal to us. Don't believe me? After you pressed the submit button and sent us your email, a little buzzer went off in our office. Our entire team can hear it, and when it went off, everyone smiled. Our office manager gave a golf clap, and our operations guy did a push up. I don't know why, but for some reason he does a push up each time the buzzer goes off. Greg, our head of marketing, ran outside and hugged some old lady walking by the office. I'm pretty sure he tried to kiss her. She didn't seem to mind it, thankfully. I'm also fairly certain I just saw Kira, our director of content, take a shot of tequila. I have no idea why she's drinking at work, but hey, the kid is excited you just signed up. Is she pouring another one? Oh crap, I gotta go and stop her. Wait, shoot, I'm getting off topic. Look, I didn't write this to tell you about our team's awful impulse control, but to thank you for signing up. Every pixel and character of copy on our site and in this newsletter is here to make you happy. We hope every piece of content we create will inspire you to live a more epic life. If it doesn't, just hit reply to any email you receive from The Hustle and tell us how you feel. Thanks again for joining our tribe. We'll holler at you soon with some awesome stuff. Sam Parr, CEO of The Hustle. P.S. On June 23rd, we're hosting HustleCon, our annual conference where we get 15 founders of Americans' fastest growing startups and have them tell the stories on how they started and grew their company. This event is for anyone who's running or has dreamed of running a startup. All right, great email. And let me point out some things. First, he hooks you in, right? The first line, a letter from the leader of a circus, aka the hustle. Even with the subject line, I assure you, we don't take what just happened lightly. Okay, it sounds serious. Like at first, leader from the circus, like aka the hustle, haha, like what's this about? Whatever. But then the subject line, I assure you, we don't take what just happened lightly. Then it gets serious. Like, okay, this was funny, but now it's serious. Like, what's going on? Like, I need to read more. What, like, what is happening between us that you don't take lightly? You just gave us your email and joined our newsletter, so they tell you, okay, you signed up, and that is a very big deal to them. So now you're feeling like, oh, they actually care about me, right? And that's the emotion they elicit and they reinforce throughout this email. Is that, hey, we actually, we care about you. We're excited that you're here. We're happy that you joined us, that you joined our tribe, right? And so telling the story of what happens in the office when you signed up, and then it gets to the point as well. It's like, we're here to serve you. We're here to make you happy. We're here to support you and inspire you to have a more epic life, to live a more epic life. And then it's very inviting. If you don't think anything that we write, whatever newsletter that you receive from us, and you don't think it's worth it, you don't think it'll help you, it will inspire you to live a more epic life, reach out to us. It creates that personal connection. Like, hey, we're not just an email, right? We're people behind this screen that care about you, and we want to inspire you. We want to do this to the highest degree of excellence, right? And then he thanks them again. Thanks again for joining our tribe. And then if you see at the bottom, the PS, soft selling, that's his pitch, HustleCon, right? That's his soft pitch, and it fits in nicely, right? It's not pressure selling or anything. It's just, hey, this is what we've got going on. If this is something you're interested in, join. If not, whatever. And this is the power of telling a story. It's memorable. It stands out. Like, this is something that you can tell a friend about 2 weeks from the time you receive that email, right? This is something that you'll remember, and it's not just what you'll remember mentally, but what you'll remember emotionally, what you feel, how this email made you feel. And that's powerful. That's why story selling works so well. It's because this, like, you could read multiple emails like this. You would be able to receive a daily email that tells a story that is funny, or fun to read, or even if it's serious, like it's got you captivated, like what's going on, what's happening. And you can read that every day. And in every single email, there can be a soft pitch like that, like he's doing with HustleCon, right? So that's that. I'm going to share another example. It's actually an email that I wrote for my personal email list. Okay. And I just want to give you a different perspective. Okay. So this is like a big newsletter, The Hustle. This strikes me as the welcome email. and that's, you can understand that in its context of what it is, right? I want to give you a different perspective of what it's like for potentially a coach or a personal brand or someone that is a personality, essentially, where they're the face of things and they're writing. So my email list, I write daily emails. Half the time it's stories, half the time it's different styles, but I try my best to teach something, be memorable, stand out, and foster a positive environment in which people can be inspired as well as learn something and then take action. So let's start with it. I was tricked into doing drugs while golfing. That's the subject line. My client, now a buddy of mine, and I met up to hang out and knock some work out. It was a beautiful day, and we wanted to get some morning sun, but before we hopped into business stuff. Naturally, we went to a nearby country club that he's a part of, and we played a quick 9 holes. After the first hole, I noticed he reached into his pocket and whipped out a container that looked like some icebreakers. He flicked the lid of the container open. Pop. And he grabbed a very odd-looking icebreaker. He must have seen me looking at him suspiciously as he said, "Oh, sorry, do you want one?" What is it?" I asked. "Zin." I looked at him puzzled. "What's that?" "Nicotine pouches. Helps with focus." Let me see the ingredients." It read, 100% pure nicotine. Hmm. Okay, sure, I'll try one. Bear in mind that I'm a very straight edged individual and I take very seriously what I put into my body. I don't drink, never smoked, or anything like that, and I never will. However, I studied a bit on nicotine a few years ago in relation to being a cognitive enhancer. As a biohacker, always looking for an edge, I've always been curious, and so I saw this as the opportunity to conduct a test for myself. I slipped a Zin pouch in between my lower gum and lower lip. There was a slight spice to it, kind of like the hard candy atomic fireballs. As I swallowed my spit, it carried that spicy feeling into the back of my throat. At first, I kept it to myself, but then it got pretty intense, so I asked my buddy while trying to hold down a cough, "Bro, why is it so spicy?" He quickly turned to me with a confused look on his face and said, it's not supposed to be spicy. Maybe spit instead of swallow." I listened, and I spit whenever a large amount of spicy saliva built up. I tried a couple of times, but progressively got worse. "Hey man, I hate to waste this, but I'm sorry. I'm done with this." Took it out of my mouth and chucked it into some trees to our side. He didn't mind. We both took our first shot on the second hole, hopped into the cart, and zoomed over to where our golf balls landed. I was up first. He handed me a club, and I got up from the cart. And after two steps, I immediately stopped myself and grabbed onto the cart. "Whoa, I'm really dizzy and I'm lightheaded, bro. You good? Do we need to leave?" "Nah, I'm good. I just need a minute. You go first." "All right, just let me know if you need me." Must have been the Zen. It hit me like a truck. He took his shot. I was up. I felt good enough to take mine, so I went for it. I swung my club and immediately got back in the car. We zoomed onto the green really quickly, but this time it was worse. My body turned to jelly. I felt like I was going to pass out. My buddy tried to assure me it was fine for us to leave and that he'd take me to the doctor if need be, but I refused. "No, man, I just need a few minutes, and I'm stealing your water." I ferociously jugged his only water as if I'd been walking across a desert all day. I started to feel better. We then proceeded to play the remaining of the 9 holes. We both ended up playing atrociously. Seems like the Zen didn't help him either. Anyway, I researched, tested, and finally reached my conclusion regarding my curiosity about nicotine as a cognitive enhancer. It doesn't work, lol. Don't get me wrong, I noticed I got zoned in at one point. I can totally see how this can help someone. Most likely the average Joe who has a poor diet, poor sleeping habits, and poor levels of physical activity, whilst inserting pointless garbage from the internet and TV into their mind every day. But to be frank, the level of focus it helped me realize wasn't even close to a fraction of what I can leverage on demand for my deep focus work blocks. So, Zen is a no-no for me. Never again, and I don't recommend it. It's a band aid solution to the lack of discipline with the aforementioned habits. The same goes for your desire to make money online and eventually lead a successful business. Instead of wasting time with band aid solutions, why don't you address the root cause with your desire to make money online? Rather than look for a quick hack for quick and fleeting success, develop a high value skill that will serve others and yourself for years. If you're ready to develop strong roots that will yield you multiple branches of income, look no further and click the link below. I have my pitch, Kevin P. So, this is a personal email that I wrote for my personal email list where I write daily emails. Um, you can see how I hook you in. Okay, I'm telling a story. There's some sort of conflict, like I'm setting the scene, then there's some sort of conflict, then there's resolution, then there's a learning lesson, and then I tie that in with an offer that I have. And it's very soft. There's no pressure selling. Like it's fun to read this, and then you get to make the decision if you want to purchase or not, if you want to convert or not. And this is the power of story selling because now I write daily emails. People don't get sick of it. Every single day, my list opens emails, and they're exposed to an offer every single day. So, what do you think naturally happens when you're exposed to an offer consistently on a daily basis and good offers? What do you think happens? You make more money, you generate more sales. That's why story selling is so effective, and it's really fun to do anyway. And and that's that. This is a personal email from my personal email list. If you want to join my email list, there's a link at the below this video in the description. If you want to join, go for it. If not, whatever. Um oh cool, thumbs up. And that's that. So now let me share with you the story selling structure for beginners. First, there's 5 steps essentially. First, you're going to want to hook the reader in and lead them into the story. Okay. Second, tell the story. Very simple, right? Third, share the lesson or purpose of telling that story, sharing that story. And then 4, tie in your product. 5, have a clear call to action. Very simple. It's a very beginner friendly structure. A great place to start. Over time, you can expand upon it with different techniques and styles and etc. Whatever. Like right now, it's a very beginner friendly and it's a great place to start. Like I said, this is a very simplified structure to follow, and it's a great way to get your reps in. And as you get comfortable with this, you can further expand your skill set of writing stories that sell. Keep in mind, there are no real rules, but surely use this as a guideline to get started so you understand how to manage each section effectively. Now, if you're too busy or just don't want to write story based emails that sell and would like me to serve you in doing so effectively for your brand, you can email me directly at kevin@vivoscale.com and we can chat about exactly how I can help you increase the sales and longevity of your brand through stories like the above. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more like it. I will see you in the next one.